Hey guys, we are back for another installment. We are tracking our coronavirus pandemic journey, and we just wanted to share some tips and tell you some of the things that we've started to do to really help with the situation.
Yeah, it's definitely an adjustment, getting used to the new normal, I guess you would say, like the way things are for now and probably maybe for a little while. You know, at least we don't know obviously how long, but it's been a little different. You know, usually when I work from home, I'm by myself. Kids are at school, she's at work. Not that way anymore.
So, I give this phase this look because it's been an adjustment period, I'm not saying who's right and who's wrong, but I'm just saying we've had to deal with a lot of different things that have kind of come up. I mean, starting with the fact that both of us now spent a lot more time at home. So when it comes to the social or physical distancing, whether you have someone in your house who's affected, whether you're working from home and your spouse or partner or friend or roommate or housemate, you're all working from home and you all have to be cooped up in the house, there's some things that, you probably need to do to kind of make sure you keep the peace.
Yeah.
What would you say tip number one would be? Because we've got some tips that we want to share that has helped us along the way.
I mean, number one, and we haven't been following this one, so this has been a little bit of an issue, is you should probably put some headset on. Put a headset on when you're on your meetings or phone calls, because both of us put it on speaker and it's very annoying.
Yeah.
And,
Our house usually goes like, shut up, I'm on the phone, my conference call. I mean, we communicate with one another in terms of the timing of everything. Like, my conference call is usually at 9:30. It seems like you have conference call after conference call after conference call beginning at 9.
Yeah,
so
some days. Yeah.
It feels like all days. And then the thing is, when they're talking, they're not talking about work. They're like, oh, what's your favorite color? My favorite color is blue. And it's like, really?
No,
this is a conference call? Like, seriously?
Since we are obviously quarantined away from each other and not in the office, what our management team has decided to do is have a daily call at 10 o'clock every morning from 10 to 10:30 where we kind of just get to know each other, because we really, even when we're in the office, a lot of, we work from home a lot, so you're not really there with the people every day. I might be in the office 3 or 4 days a week, but then other people are out. So they've used this time to kind of get to know each other a little bit better, which, has been good for team building. Yeah. So that's the 10 o'clock call. The rest of the calls are all about business. We're not on the phone all day just messing around. So
that's like the shouting match that, my coworkers who they don't know they're shouting over his coworkers. But yeah, definitely if you don't have headsets, we both do, but we just don't use them. Start using them. They really help, and it does block out the noise, because the ones that we have does have a noise cancellation feature, so that helps out big time. Also,
there was one day last week when I was on a call and you were playing some song loud on your phone, and I'm telling her to shut up, turn that thing off, and she says, and she says, and her response was, I found a new TikTok thing.
Well, speaking of which, though, I mean, and we'll get into that a little bit more on how to keep your little ones entertained and just keep things going. TikTok has been very useful in my house, in our house, sorry. It is, I mean, it's one of those balancing acts that you kind of have to do. I mean, in his case, like, he does have a series of conference calls and everything, and then I have my conference calls on my reporting days. I start at home now, so a lot of my preparation that I do day to day now involves me being on the phone with my colleagues and then setting up my story for the day. So I may have to make phone calls to set things up, interviews and whatnot. I do Skype interviews and things like that. Another thing, though, that I think is important is to work separately. And I know this may be hard for a lot of people who live in confined spaces. Like if you're in a small New York City apartment, it's not so easy to work apart. But for us, being as though we have this house, now I move my work upstairs and he is downstairs. If you're in a smaller apartment, choose a corner of the room away from your roommates or your partner or what have you. I think that alone also helps kind of alleviate some of the tension and the confusion.
Yeah, and it's if you're on top of each other, it's hard to focus. It's hard to get things done. Like even where I am downstairs, our son is with me all the time, so he's constantly there. Like I'm helping him with the schoolwork, or he's watching his TV, so it can be a little distracting. Like I said, usually when I'm working from home, I'm by myself, so it's peace and quiet. So it's a little bit different, but it is good that, when she's here, she can work upstairs and I can work downstairs, and it's, that can kind of save from, the headache of like just, hearing her talking to somebody or her hearing me talking to somebody, or just the lack of concentration that comes along with, having a lot of noise and a lot of stuff going on.
And that you mentioned virtual learning, because both our kids are out from school until further notice, and virtual learning has now been added to the madness that we're going through. So we have a 9-year-old who's in the 4th grade. She does everything on her own, which is a huge help. It's tremendous. Yeah. And if she does have any questions, she'll get on a video chat with her teacher and sometimes her classmates, because they help each other. So that's been a big help, and they all do it through Google Classroom. Our 6-year-old, he's in the 1st grade. It's not that easy.
Yeah, it's not as easy for him to be as independent as a 4th grader. So
yeah,
it's
and he, don't get me wrong, he has come a long way. He's super smart. He knows how to read. It's just that, does he want to read? That's a different story.
Does he want to do any of this?
Does
no,
he want to read the instructions and then figure it out? No. So he has to kind of keep him on track, and he does that through an app that they use, because he's not at the age where they're really relying on Google Classroom, but his teacher uses what they call Dojo app. So he'll start with like morning prayers and
Pledge allegiance
and answer questions, and sometimes there's songs attributed to that. So he handles the majority of that stuff, but if it's anything like science related, like he has to do a science project, that's where I come in. Or if he has to do a project of any kind, that's my field of study. So we kind of, and I think if you're a parent of whether it's smaller kids in school or older kids or whatever, I think it's important to have that balance, like split the work. Like, hey, how about you take care of this, I take care of that. If he gets overwhelmed, or if he has a phone call or something to take care of, then I'll pick up the pieces, sort of thing.
Yeah, there are times when it can be a little overwhelming if he's has assignments and I got a call, and then I have my regular work to do on top of that. So there are days when she's home, it definitely helps out a lot to be able to say, hey, can you help him with this? Because like it's sometimes like it's you have like a million things going on. It's hard to focus on one. So we've been making it work, and he's been doing well. He's definitely become a little more independent, especially with his math and his ELA work. It's just any kind of writing that he has to do. We just had a battle a few minutes ago with just having to write out how he feels about doing good deeds. Yeah, he has a hard time doing those kind of projects. But he's definitely, the math was an issue earlier in the year. He's come a long way with that.
He's definitely come a long way, because day one, it's been like a couple weeks, 3 weeks.
3 weeks. Yeah.
Day one, it was like a lot of tears, a lot of tantrums. Yeah. And then now it's dwindled to like no tears, maybe a little tear, or maybe like a sniffling, but it's not like before where he would get so upset. I would say, you know what? Take a break. If your kid gets super upset and can't handle the workload and it's too much for them, don't force the issue. take a break. You can always get back to it at a later time. And for me, I am dealing with him, and he can't always deal with it because he's on a phone call or something like that, or is in the middle of dealing with a client or something. What I normally do is say, all right, take 5 minutes, draw a picture, sit quietly, play with your toys. I try not to tell him to go do screen time or anything like that. No, he's like, can I watch TV? The answer is no. But I say, draw a picture, sit quietly. You can go outside for a little bit, go on the trampoline, and then come back and start fresh. Because sometimes when the kids get so upset, they hold on to it and they cannot get anything done, and it defeats the purpose. It's not good for them. It's not good for you. So you might as well just shut it down, and then get back to it another time. And you'll find that he's happy, we're happy, everybody's happy. Yes. But the one good thing though is we are able to have lunch. Yes. In addition to dinner as a family. So our meals are pretty much together, with the exception of maybe me in the morning. I get up a little earlier and I usually have my coffee and some oatmeal or something. But lunchtime, we try to incorporate it being a joint effort, especially with the kids, making their own lunches, doing little chores just to keep them active. And today it's supposed to be pizza. So they're gonna put together their own little pizza with toppings and stuff like that. And then we all sit together and we eat. So that's not something that we normally can do on a regular basis. So that's a good thing. Like if you're at home with
never.
Kids. Never, no, not even the two of us. Maybe on like a Monday when we're both off or something like that, but that's it. So definitely take advantage of the meal time, the family time. You can make the meal time kind of like family time. I find that helps.
Yeah, we've had a lot of good meals. We've been doing different things, and as long as we can get the food at the grocery store, it's there. We're good.
Yeah,
it's been good.
Yeah,
so definitely a lot more family time.
Like taco Tuesdays or taco Saturday. Now it's like taco every day. Yeah. They're at a point where they're actually loading the dishwasher, cutting up the tomatoes. And during that process, we also learn about foods, like what foods are healthy, what foods are not so healthy. And we talk about things like that. So they love their tacos, that's for sure.
Yes.
And what would you say is another thing? I think patience kind of goes along with this whole scenario, because before we were like at each other's like throats, and then I was like, all right, I need to calm down. I need to woosah, because it's not doing me no good right now, like seriously. So I feel like, being patient and just giving him his time and him giving me my time. If the kids are getting too rowdy, he'll say, hey, mom's on the phone, mom has a Skype interview or something like that. It really does help.
Yeah, they've been pretty good. I mean, they've been getting outside just about every day, which I think helps. If they're in the house all the time, that's not good, because they just like everybody, they get the cabin fever and they just start wilding out and going crazy.
Like, please go outside.
They gotta go out and get that.
Please go. Just don't talk to anybody. Don't go to nobody's house. And what we do is we will open up a window, we'll open up the door so we can actually see them as they're playing outside, and the backyard is enclosed, so
and
it's
the great
not
thing
like they can go anywhere.
The technology these days, we have Ring doorbells, so we can see
everything.
If anybody's coming around. So it's good to have that space where they can go and just kind of get their energy out.
But if you do have little ones, like when they were little and we had time together and whatnot, we do stuff around the house. Like even now, whether it's doing an activity, we do YouTube videos, arts and crafts. We just uploaded something not too long ago on Anastasia's channel with the two of them like making forky and stuff like that. We try to incorporate that. I feel like every other day is a TikTok video. Yeah. She's like, oh, we gotta do TikTok. At this point, it's like her TikTok like channel because she'll find a dance, teach me how to do it. It takes me a whole lot longer for me to get it. She gets it, no problem, and then we put it together. But I feel like because the gyms are closed, We can't really go to parks because even now the parks have been closed down, but they keep the spaces open so you can, if there's a track or a path, you can walk that track or path. But I feel that that's my workout for the day. So we did the TikTok.
And she's usually has dance every week. She dances for 4 hours every Saturday. She doesn't have that outlet anymore. So now it's good that they do their TikTok, and they're up here rehearsing for hours.
So it's not just managing our time, it's like managing their time and then our family time together. And the great thing about a lot of restaurants and stuff being closed is that they can actually help prepare food, they can clean up and all that stuff. We try to incorporate all that because I'm tired when I get home. And although a lot of my time is working from home, like this week, for instance, I'm filling in the morning show, and so I'm up at like 2 o'clock in the morning. I get home, I'm exhausted. So it does vary. So whether I'm at home or whether I'm working, coming home from work, it's like it's a balance. It's a juggling act, but we're managing.
Yes,
We are
it's going well. Also, game night. We've been doing
a
lot of games. So she's
I'm getting ready for bed.
Yeah, she's getting ready for bed. But we've been doing a lot of Sorry and I Found It, and we try to play games every day.
And one thing, and we didn't talk about this, but one thing I think is important, whether you're an adult or you have kids, whatever the case is, if you're at home and you're stuck in this lockdown because of the coronavirus pandemic, get up like you would any other day. Get in the shower, brush your teeth, make your breakfast and everything. Don't just schlep around in your PJs all day. I mean, we want to get the kids in the mindset, like treat this day like it's any other day. So they get up in the morning, they'll have their breakfast, they brush their teeth, they take their vitamins, they get dressed like they normally would for school. It's just that they're not in their school clothes per se, but they are dressed out of their PJs. And I think that kind of keeps them in that mindset. So when they do go back to school, it's not so much of a, okay, how do we transition them back into their normal routine and get back to our old normal, because this is our new normal, get back to our old normal and our new routines all over again.
Yeah, because we don't know when they are going back. They could go back next month, they could go back next September. We don't know, we have no idea. So this could be ongoing, and so we want to keep them in the routine.
All right, well, I hope you enjoyed our tips. If you have anything that you find that has been helpful for your family, we want to know about it. If there's something we're missing,
let us know.
We want to know about it. So, or if you have any ideas for any upcoming videos, if there's something that you want to know, I don't know, I'm thinking of sharing some tips. A lot of the stories that I cover actually cover a lot of the coronavirus facts and things like that. So
we could do shows. We could do what shows.
Yes.
Binging on that. Maybe that's a good one to do.
King Tiger. It's been #1 forever. But we have a whole arsenal of stuff. But any ideas, please leave them in the comment section. And we look forward to reading them and answering your questions if you have any.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, guys. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more videos. Bye.
Bye.